Hey guys, welcome to this replay cast courtesy of Slavic. I am Rifkin here with Zepph, covering this match that was, I'm going to assume, taking place on ladder. Zepph, who are our players today?
Well, up here in the top right-hand corner of the wonderful Cloud Kingdom, we have the blue Protoss, EGHuKRC.
And his opponent in the lower left, it is not Bakwa! The, I guess, Zerg Terror, or the Bird Zerg. It is, in fact, FXOHappyZerg, aka FXOSlavic. And just so you guys know, Slavic is, he's gone from a transition in his name. He started out his StarCraft career as HappyZerg, changed to FXOSlavic, and is now once more FXOHappyZerg. So, if you hear me talking about Slavic in this game, please know that I am in fact referring to the Red Zerg. And I apparently can't pronounce the word game, but that's okay. Let's get into this, Zepph.
That's fine. You pronounce it like an Aussie guy.
Game,
yeah.
mate.
Yeah, you got it down. And maybe I'm rubbing off on you a little bit.
Oh no, that means we gotta do less casting. I can't lose my Canadian heritage. But Huck asking how to turn off unit bubbles. Apparently, I'm not sure what he refers to with that.
Huh. Not entirely sure either. I've never seen a bubble around the unit. Maybe he's...
Oh, maybe he's referring to the little circles, like when they're targeting the minerals and such.
But, oh yeah, actually, I want to turn that off myself.
I kind of like it. I don't know. The Asian in me is like the closest I'll get to a rave show without Colossus being involved. But okay, Zepph, it is Cloud Kingdom. How do you feel about this map?
Well, previously this map has been pretty difficult for Zergs, particularly with Protoss doing all-in styles, because a lot of chokes and ramps in which they can engage, but Heart of the Swarm has turned out a little bit different. We have different openers due to the Mothership core, so I'm not sure if that's the way to go for Protoss anymore.
Yeah, times are definitely changing, and I really like too, Huck has not only gone for the gateway first, but he's doing it all on the high ground. There's no 8-minute, sort of no rush courtesy game where you've got the Forge Fast expand on the low ground, at least not today.
Yeah, thank goodness. I mean, I kind of really hated ZvP for a while just because it was so boring in the beginning, and having that Mothership core has kind of changed that up. But at the same time, things can't get too exciting in the early game, I don't think, because that Mothership core really does help you defend against anything crazy that the Zerg might want to do to you.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. I like the changes to the early game. I don't know if that was the intention of Blizzard or not, but, you know, between Mothership cores and the aggression tactics now available, it is nice, not just from a casting standpoint, but I'm sure from a playing standpoint, not having to sit there till the 9-minute mark before you can really actually do anything as a Zerg player.
Yeah, pretty much. Up until then, it's just all trying to scout, trying to get as much information as possible and tailor your build to that. And already we have some changes to what we would normally see in a ZvP. Usually it's the standard 3-hatch sort of build order, and this time HappyZerg has taken quite an early gas, which is something we do not see in ZvP and Wings of Liberty.
Yeah, I mean, quite often, how many times where it's just like, oh, it's 8 minutes in the game, I guess I better start speed? I mean...
Yeah.
One thing I want to point out here is kind of cool. I don't know if this is a recent change or I've been too ignorant to notice, but in the top right, I noticed that the minerals, or sorry, the geysers, the income looks different. There's like a square cube for the Vespene for the Protoss and an egg for the Zerg. That's actually kind of cool.
No, I'm pretty sure that's how it's always been, actually.
I have never noticed that. This is blowing my mind. You have no idea.
Because I thought the little SCVs, they carried like a little canister of it back into the command center.
Yeah, but in the top right, it's always, I'm pretty sure, you know what, maybe I'm crazy, I'm not going to get hung up on this. Whatever, it's cool to me, so whatever.
Yeah, don't worry, it's all good. Just earlier before this cast, actually, I suddenly realized that the Kerrigan background moves. So
oh yeah, you're flipping out like, oh my gosh, she glows. But, you know, there's Huck actually poking up here some stalkers, and HappyZerg finding himself without speed done just yet. It's going to be hard for us to deal with this, as these stalkers can just kind of kite all day. Now, there are queens, there's a lot of Zerglings he's got to watch out first round, and I think that's why he's just decided to go home. Like, yep, I saw you had a lot of Zerglings, not going to risk it.
Yeah, definitely. And this is the beauty of that one gate expand. I mean, Huck can put on a little bit of pressure much earlier than he would otherwise do. Usually it's just one Zealot, one Stalker early on in the game.
Can you imagine if Slavic didn't have these Zerglings? If it was just Queens, he would get in here and do a ton of damage with any sort of early aggression. In fact, I think I was speaking with Pig about this the other day, where it's like, you send out a Stalker, 2 Zealots, and a Mothership core early on. Like, what can a Zerg player do other than lose units to that?
Yeah, it really sucks. You have to pull your queens to try and get rid of the mothership core too, and that makes you miss injects. You know, might hurt your creep spread if you're up to that stage. It
Oh.
really, really sucks.
And that, I don't know if you caught that, that is probably the best use of the Mother Core in Heart of the Swarm. The fact that you can get rid of the annoying overlords that steal that dead space early on.
Yeah.
It is no fun knowing that your opponent can see everything you're doing. Basically have what is a semi-observer in your base from minute 1 of the game.
Yeah, exactly. And from a Zerg standpoint, that actually really sucks because it makes it really hard to be able to scout, because we always like to sacrifice our overlords in at around 7 or 8 minutes, have a good idea of what's going on, but unfortunately that mothership core is like, no way, no thank you.
Well, I'm really curious what the tech choices from these guys are going to be, because we see Slavic on 2 bases with a lot of gas right now. More importantly, Huck as well. He's got the option of what is kind of being dubbed as the overpowered Sky Toss composition at his late game disposal. It's not easy dealing with Protoss if you let them get to the late game.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen a huge influx of Stargate openings now, so it'll be interesting to see if Huck, who hasn't opened with a Stargate, will transition to that perhaps in the mid game or something. But for now, he's dropping a Robo Forge and Twilight Council, so it looks like he's got some other tech in mind for the time being.
This is some really interesting harass coming here at the natural. A Time Warp going to slow down income quite a bit. Won't actually kill any workers.
Wow.
But this bubble lasts for a long time. I think it's like 40 seconds or something. Let's check the tooltip here. 30 seconds. So for 30 seconds, there's going to be severely reduced mining. It's hitting the gas, too, and yeah, Slavic even kind of being like, yeah, cheeky bugger.
I never even thought of that. Like, that's the most genius move. This is actually so crazy how little economy the Zerg has right now, like, just compared to casting Winds of Liberty all the time. They're like on 3 base, fully saturated and all this stuff, but wow, we're nowhere near that. And in fact, we have a Spire coming up as HOTS secures his third.
Yeah, Spire's gonna produce some of those nasty, nasty units we know as Mutalisk guys, and with that +1 regen in Heart of the Swarm, you can. There's no reason not to use them really as a Zerg player.
Yeah, for sure. You say nasty, I say delicious. I am very much enjoying these mutas.
You know what, Terran bias aside, I didn't even mean nasty in a bad way. I mean, it is just straight up disgusting how much better it makes those units. And Mothership Core coming for round 2. Another Time Warp. He doesn't get the gas this time, though. I don't know that I like that. I think hampering the gas mining is a lot more important than hindering the mineral mining of a Zerg player.
Yeah, for sure. That might have been just kind of a last-minute Time Warp, though, because there's a Spell Crawler there and a Queen, so he took quite a bit of damage in that Mothership Core, and in fact, it's going to go down to a lone muta.
That is unfortunate, but the Mutalists, of course, are revealed at this point, and Hawk, that doesn't have a lot of anti-air. He's got a lot of Stalkers, but Stalkers are very immobile until that Blink finishes. Actually, he's already got it almost done, sorry. I thought he hadn't started it yet, but Blink, definitely a good way to try and deal with this.
Yeah, it will be finishing up here, thankfully, but
oh wow, look at the amount of cannon Zepph at the natural block.
I mean, he needs to respond like this because it's ridiculously hard to set those up once mutas are already in your base. And the other thing is he's going Colossus tech, so you know, he's focusing on something that can't hit upwards.
It's funny that they can't hit up too, because they're tall enough that they can hit by air-to-air only units, but for some reason they can't just angle their lasers up slightly.
Yeah, for sure. Or at least like headbutt a meter out of the sky or something like that.
I mean, Huck's actually going to be deterred by those cannons for now, so he's going to just start chipping away at some pylons. Nice blink back. But there's a huge circling run by coming to the third base that he's trying to set up. Will he cancel this? He's got to or he's going to lose it.
Yeah, there we go. There's a cancel, and in fact he's going to go in and try and go for some Sentries and Immortals, but some nice forces back him out of there. He'll get another pylon cancel.
The Protoss army being locked in by his own force fields is not usually a fun thing to have to deal with, and the Mutalists, of course, are going to be deterred. And that's funny, too, because we talk about the cannons being kind of like, whoa, my god, but I mean, Terran matchup, Protoss matchups, even with the new Spore Crawler changes, you see a lot of people with these defenses in their base. Wings of Liberty? That is unheard of. Wasting minerals on a cannon? Forget about it.
Yeah, for sure. They're really forced into it now. In Heart of the Swarm, and I actually have to say I really like how HOTS right now is taking the initiative to try and deny this third base as much as possible. Nice catch by Huck, firing some of the Lings.
Ooh, but HOTS losing a lot of his Mutalists behind this Zepph.
Oh dear.
Got a couple cannons and maybe a work or two from splash damage, but really losing 3 Mutalists for that, not really that worth it.
Yeah, not so good. He has got +1, starting +2 for those flyer attack for now though, so at the very least he will be able to start killing things a little bit quicker, perhaps dip out before too late, and he does snipe the Mothership core. Can he get a Colossus out of this too?
Colossus is very low, it does go down, but this base still stands. So I mean, Huck, he just really wants to get this base up. He needs that extra economy. He knows his opponent's on at least 3 base. Let's see if he has vision of the 4th yet. No, but I mean, it's kind of one of those things where, okay, it's Zerg. If I'm on my 3rd, he's probably on his 4th or 5th.
Yeah, definitely. And HOTS production tab is getting pretty crazy right now. He's getting upgrades all over the shop.
It's already actually underneath the player names in the middle of the top of the screen there. That's how ridiculous it is. But
yeah.
Mutalisk continuing to poke around here. Stalker's taking a lot of damage, but Guardian Shield, a nice way to reduce a lot of that damage.
Indeed. And Huck getting a bit ballsy out there, making sure that his mutas back right off, giving themselves some space to breathe. Because really these mutas are doing their job. They're allowing HOTS to do whatever he wants behind this.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked Huck hasn't decided to make the opt to just make at least a Stargate, if not 2. A very popular sort of response to this is just, you know, get some Phoenixes out. Phoenixes kite Mutalisks all day, they've got way more damage to them, and a small amount of Phoenixes can outmaneuver a large amount of Mutalisks.
Yeah, for sure. But the flip side of that is that they do actually require a lot of attention, because if you leave them alone for the second, the mutas will actually take them out. So perhaps he's not interested in trying to keep track of his Phoenixes for the entire game at the same time.
Ooh, nice blink under these with the Hawk. He's going forward with this. He does lose the Stalker, but he picks off another couple Mutalisks, and quite frankly, that's a good trade any day.
Oh, so many Lings are about to run into the natural. It is not blocked off.
Oh, Huck, where's the Zealot warping for the wall? Not just the natural, but going right to the main. Okay, he does have some units warping into the main to defend with, but he's going to take such heavy losses from this stuff. The cannons will help. One does go down, another one's very low. But the Forge,
the Forge. Oh, that is really, really nice.
The cannons, yeah, the cannons are actually playing very nice and very effective. It's kind of like, well, at least they got some use out of them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, those helped out incredibly. The Zealot's doing a great job as well, but you can only warp in so many units in so many places at a time.
Ooh, and Ling and Mutalisk engaging in the middle of the map, forcing a blink backwards. Oh, but I don't know if there's enough Stalkers here to deal with the sheer amount of Mutalisks.
Oh my gosh, so many Mutalisks.
Yeah, they're trying to blink away, but without the cannon support, I mean, really, Huck is just finding himself hard-pressed to deal with this. Now, he does have Storm researching. Storm's really nice if you're trying to get your Mutalisks. They do clump up, but they're so fast, Zepph. They don't really sit in that Storm for very long.
Yeah, even when this was like the old school response to mutas, it was really tough. More units getting taken out here. A Colossus kind of exposed too. There's actually just so few Stalkers. He could run in there and grab those Colossus pretty much without too much trouble. But he's playing safe, continuing to mass those mutas up. He's up to 33 now, Rifkin.
I really wish Huck would kind of make that swap to air, but it doesn't look like it's going to be his choice. But you know what? Huck is a top-notch player. Who am I to doubt him? If he can get some good storms, if he's got a lot of Stalkers, he can easily deal with this. But it's going to come down to, I feel, a lot more on, less on his good micro, more on Slavic's bad micro to really clean this up.
Yeah, exactly. Slavic now taking a 5th base over on the left-hand side while he continues to roll around with his mutas. And interestingly, yeah, he's going to go for Ultra Bane behind this rather than go for Broodlords.
I kind of like that choice, actually. He knows that his opponent's going for a lot of things like Stalkers and what have you, and Ultras in Heart of the Swarm were kind of redesigned slightly to be an anti-ground unit, and if ground is going to be Huck's choice, what better to deal with it than Ultralisks?
Yeah, definitely. And the other thing is Broodlords, of course, the old story with them being very immobile, and this map being kind of large. If you try and attack one spot with your Broodlords, the Protoss army does have the opportunity to just go, oh, I can't really deal with that, I'm just going to go around and base trade you, and then things get really awkward. So Ultras, yeah, probably the smarter choice, you're right.
And he's also been taking it behind this. I mean, with the Ling Bay Muta, he's got the upgrades, and worst case scenario, you know, he can still go Ultras later on, or sorry, Broodlords later on, but, I mean, the tech is there for him. Now, Zerglings are going to try and get in here. Can they actually get this Templar Storm going down on most of his own units, actually? These Zealots are going to spawn kind of dead. And, I like this. The main was evacuated immediately, so Slavic is not going to find himself with any worker kills. Going to try and get the Robo Facility. Will get the Robo Facility.
Muta's taking a ton of damage in the natural, though, from one storm. A lot of them softened up. Stalkers are going to come in now, and HOTS will fly on out of there. But, yeah, the Robo, definitely a nice catch there.
Now, there's a ton of gateways here for Huck. I mean, he's set to do tons of warp-ins, and the reality is the composition that Slavic has, yeah, warp-ins will deal with that until the Ultralisks are here. he doesn't have a lot of immortals. Checking his unit count, actually, he has no immortals. So I don't foresee a very effective way for him to deal with Ultralisks. Because let's not forget, storms are good, but Ultras have so much health.
Yeah, this is going to be really, really tough. He doesn't even have any force fields to deal with the banelings, so a lot of his army is going to cop that. The Stalkers can actually blink back, but that's about it. Here come the Mutas. It looks like he's going to set up a flank for this.
Yeah, the Colossus are just taking out the Spine Clawers right now, but here come the Banelings rolling in, Zepph. Storm's going down on all of the Banelings. Very nicely done by HOTS, but Slavic with just too many units. Look at the Ultra Skin. Oh my goodness, that is disgusting looking. It's like a chunk of meat.
Wow, that is like the easiest I've ever seen anyone clear up any kind of Protoss ball of units. And he has so much left over, oh my gosh.
I haven't seen the custom skin yet. That's so cool. Those Ultras look nasty, man. They got like this red glow to them too. Look at that. That's beautiful.
So awesome.
Well, I can see why he went Ultralist now.
Definitely not want to get headbutted by one of those. Lots of storms going down.
Archons
the Ultras,
as well.
It's not making too much difference.
Slavic actually losing a lot of his army really quickly there. His Mutalisk count has dwindled quite a bit, and they're all very, very low. But the Archons, the Storms, they've done their damage. These Ultras, of course, as you said, very, very low. But Slavic just continuing the pressure. Look at the supply, Zepph. I mean, this is...
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, man, Ultralisk. One Ultralisk versus an Archon. That is nasty.
Down goes the 4th base. He's only down to 17 mutas now, but the fact is that he's just remaxed with 70 links. He's still got 4 ultras with another 3 coming out. He's getting the greatest spire for that transition 2 now, so he's looking so great. HOTS is down over 100 supply.
I mean, look at the map, too. The map is covered in creep. When does this ever happen against a Protoss player? Well, apparently only Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah, this is really, really well done by HOTS so far in this game.
I can't get over how cool these Ultralisks look. I'm sorry.
Yeah. They're pretty badass looking.
But that's, I gotta give Blizzard, if they're gonna put custom skins in like this, I would pay money for it, straight up. But okay, we got another big engage happening here. There's only an Archon. Nice Storms taking on almost all of the Zerglings immediately. Those Archons, there's only one left and it's very low. I don't really know how he's gonna deal with these Mutalisks stuff. He's using a lot of this Storm energy on not the Mutalisks, basically.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we have some Infestors coming out now as well to really pin down that army, maybe help get rid of some of those Templar if they don't get feedbacked. Infestors, it's interesting, up to this point we've had no Infestors where previously that was the core unit, but I like how he's starting to mix those in now just to make sure he can secure his win here and really pin down that army and kill it off.
And HOTS very dedicated to try to get this natural. He's like, you know what, it's 25 minutes of the game, it's about time I take this out. I've sacrificed enough Mutalisks trying to clean this up. It looks like he will do that. Ooh, and HOTS now down less than 40 workers, Zepph. This is not looking too good for him. 35
workers killed and climbing. It's really, really tough. Neuroparasite coming down for those Infestors too.
I don't think Neuro can't grab psionic units anymore, I believe. So I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know what he'd use the Neuro for, but you know, why not? Alright, now just kind of meat cleaving these incoming Archons. There's so many of them though.
Yeah,
Bungles and Basetradetv. I don't know that there's enough though. Look at the Ultralisks. Just destroy them before they even finish.
Yeah, definitely. The Ultras are not phased at all. They're just going to chew through it. One of them getting a little bit overexcited there. Gonna get whittled down by those Stalkers.
You little scamp, get back here. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Ultras are just the anti-ground unit. You need air to deal with them. And Skytoss, I really think should have been HOTS' choice.
Definitely.
And Slavic, a very nice victory. And before I sign off, I'm just going to check these Ultras out one more time. Oh my god, they're so cool looking.